Welcome back to the today's video. We're doing the 16th Christmas update. The 15th one, which we did on Sunday, was very, very interesting. I'm sure you remember it. We had easterly winds and heavy snow piling in from the North Sea, I should say, piling in from the North Sea on Christmas Eve. Very unusual charts those were. It was a really interesting update. And I said with the 16th one would be interesting to see whether that trend, the high pressure over Scandinavia, the easterly winds, continue on the 16th update. Well, we're going to find out tonight, so it's going to be an interesting update to say the least. Now, before I get on with the video, I just want to talk about the advertising. There's video ads on my page, it's at GavsWebBiz.com. Hit play on the video ad. You'll be supporting GavsWebBiz.com. Thanks very much for doing that. Gav Shop is over, so if you want to buy any shopping at Amazon between now and Christmas, just click through the Amazon banners in Gav Shop. It'll take you directly through to Amazon, and you'll be able to do your Christmas shopping there as normal. At the same time, Gavs Webbiz will get a royalty fee on anything that you purchase. Thanks so much for doing these things. They do make a big difference to the website. So yeah, thanks very much for getting involved and supporting Gavs Webbiz. Now, the charts we're using, it's CFS 9 monthly model from the website Meteoseal. It's the midday run, generated midday yesterday, the 2nd of December. You can find the link to Meteoseal on my links page. So, we're going to start off on the 17th of December, and here we are with high pressure to the south country, low pressure to the north of Scotland, bringing this strong westerly wind from the Atlantic. That's very windy, unsettled, heavy showers, longer spells of rain feeding in across the country. Not particularly warm either, because the winds are coming from off the coast of Greenland, so actually it's quite chilly with that westerly wind, but it certainly is a very unsettled and windy scenario. That unsettled weather stays with us through the 18th into the 19th of December. But by the time we get through to the 19th, 20th, there's just signs that we're starting to build high pressure to the south of the country. As we run up to the 21st, on into the 22nd of December, well, look at this, we do get a build of high pressure starting to take place then. The low pressure begins to stall out in the Atlantic. Now, what's very interesting is this high pressure building up from the south is trying to build in to high pressure up to the northeast. Now, this high pressure over the country is probably not particularly cold, but it would be giving frost and fog, and probably near normal temperatures by day, although cold where fog lingers. But the main thing to focus on is this building pressure up over Scandinavia. Is this high pressure going to get to that building high over Scandinavia and deliver us an easterly? Well, let's see what the model does. So here we go, up to the 22nd, on into the 23rd of December. It's the same sort of idea, really. The high pressure is there across France and southern parts of England. Low pressure just niggling away to the northwest. But the main thing to focus on is this big area of high pressure building over Scandinavia, up to 1,055 millibars, actually, somewhere around Finland. Now, this is a very similar scenario to what we were seeing on Sunday. It's not exactly the same, because we're not getting the easterly winds pushing in that we had leading up to Christmas, 23rd, 24th, on the 15th update, which we did on Sunday. But for a general trend, the idea of the high pressure building over Scandinavia, trying to get the winds in from the east, for a general trend, it is there. It's very similar to Sunday's update, and that is what we're looking for with this. We're not particularly looking for specific details, although the detail on Sunday was very interesting, the heavy snow coming in from the east. But that's not the point of the exercise. The point of the exercise is to look at the trends in terms of the bigger picture, and the trend is similar with pressure building over Scandinavia. So going up to Christmas Eve, and well, it's very similar really. The high pressure is still feeding into this high building over Scandinavia. Winds are trying to get into the east, but it's not quite coming off on this run. The Atlantic is just niggling away to the west of the country, and we're in more of a slack sort of southerly southeasterly feed. So the easterly is not coming off. I have to emphasise that on this run. Nevertheless, it's a similar trend in terms of the pressure building over Scandinavia. This is the chart for midday on Christmas Day, and yeah, we've got high pressure over Scandinavia at 1,050 millibars. Easterly winds trying desperately to come in, giving a very wintry, snowy Christmas to much of the continent, but we're still just not quite getting it on this update for the British Isles and for Ireland. We're still just about in the mild drought, although cooler content there is probably feeding in from the east. Going out beyond that into Christmas Day, into Boxing Day, and then on into the 27th. Well, finally, by the 27th or 28th, we are feeding in an easterly wind then. That could be bringing some snow showers into the east. Would be very cold. with hard overnight frost. So we do, just after Christmas, get that easterly wind setting up. But it doesn't last. As we move through towards the new year, the high collapses, below pressure comes in from the Atlantic, and here we are on New Year's excuse me, New Year's Day, with high pressure to the south, low pressure to the north, back into an Atlantic feed. The Scandinavian high has receded back in towards western Russia. So in terms of detail, this is not so good as the 15th update. We're not getting a snowstorm on Christmas Eve and heavy snow feeding in from the east on those easterly winds. But in terms of the bigger picture, it's very similar, and that is the main thing that we're doing in these videos for, to try and build up a trend for Christmas. And the trend is there for pressure to build over Scandinavia. Because I did the video this morning, there was some hints in model this morning that we might see high pressure trying to build over Scandinavia. So there's definitely something going on, I think. There's definitely an idea that mid-December, running up to Christmas, pressure is going to try to build over Scandinavia. Whether it comes off, it's hard to say. It's very early in the winter for that to happen. It's easier to get Scandinavian highs mid and latter part of the winter, harder in December. So it's very interesting. There's something going on, and I think the next update, the 17th update, which we'll be doing on Thursday, is going to be really, really interesting to see whether the CFS again runs with this idea of trying to build the high pressure over Scandinavia and trying to bat the winds into the east for Christmas. It's getting very interesting. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.